Coming up with content ideas can feel like a full-time job, especially when you're having to manage up to 5 social media pages. As a social media manager, it can feel like hell having to write down monthly or even weekly content ideas for each of these brands. But what if I told you that you could actually create over 30 plus or even more content ideas in a day or less than a day? So in this video, I'm basically going to show you how you can come up with content ideas and stop stressing yourself over ideas. I'm just going to show you all of that in this video. So let's get right into video. So the first step in doing this, I'm just going to set a foundation for all of this. The first step is actually knowing your target audience. This is very important because it's one thing to put together lots of content ideas for the month, for the week, and then you're getting no engagement, nobody's engaging. It just clearly shows that you don't know your target audience, you don't know what their challenges are, you don't know what their interests are. So when you actually know them, for example, their age range, because of course they're not specific, they're not a specific age, but they have like age ranges. Let's say, for example, 18 to 35, 20 to 60, right? So you must know your target audience, and those details I'm just basically going to give you a template where you can actually learn about your target audience or craft out your target audience personnel document, which is very important before you even start going ahead to create a content calendar or put together content ideas. Okay, so please make sure you do this before you follow through with the other videos, or maybe after you're done watching the video. So the second step, you want to put together your 3 to 5 content pillars. I'm sure you're wondering what content pillars are. Content pillars, they are like the foundation for your content strategy. So they're not just making sure that you post the right thing aligning with your strategy, but they're also making sure that you never run out of content. So for example, I'm going to paint a scenario here. So let's say, for example, you're a skincare brand or you're a social media manager that manages a skincare brand. So what you want to do is that you want to get a piece of paper or get your digital notebook and put together pillar 1, pillar 2, pillar 3, pillar 4, and pillar 5. So for a skincare brand, you can have, for example, tips and tutorials. That's one pillar. And the second pillar, you can have behind the scene pillar. On the third pillar, you can have UGC cam or your customer cam pillar. And then the fourth pillar, you can have motivational pillar. So these are the 4 pillars. I'm just going to use, for example, 4 now. So for these 4 pillars now, it will form the types of content that you put out. So for example, you have tips and tutorials. Under tips and tutorials, you can put, for example, under that pillar, you can have how to get rid of pimples. You can have come up with a skincare routine. So these are tutorials, how to use your products. So now you can see that as I'm calling out all of these ideas, it comes out from just one pillar. So you can see how easy it is to actually get content ideas, even without the assistance of ChatGPT. So you want to make sure that you come up with 3 to 5 content pillars. Very, very important. So for the third step, you want to break each content pillars into subtopics. I already talked about this a little bit in the second point, but now it's time for you to actually break up your content pillars and flesh out ideas from each of the pillars. So for example, like I said, behind the scenes content, you can have a day in the life of the business owner. That's the owner of the business. You can ask the person to shoot that content. You can also have behind the scenes of the making of your product. And now, if you need more help, you can also ask ChatGPT to help you to flesh out. You can use this prompt actually. You can ask ChatGPT to help you flesh out 20 ideas out of that one pillar. Now you can see you already have 20 ideas in less than 2 minutes or even 1 minute. You already have 20 ideas. So now having your content pillars will actually guide you. So at this point, you want to break down your content pillars into content ideas. Next step, I already mentioned this again, but you want to make sure that you use assistant AI tools, ChatGPT, and whatnot. So for example, you can actually use this prompt. That way, you're giving ChatGPT more insight. You're not just saying, oh, hey, ChatGPT, help me come up with ideas. You're telling ChatGPT the target audience. You're telling ChatGPT, you can even go ahead and tell ChatGPT about your brand. This will help ChatGPT to give you the best responses. So you want to make use of tools like ChatGPT, Buzzimo, Uber Suggest, Answer the Public. Those are really good tools that will help you to know what your customers are searching for on Google, on search engines like Google, Reddit, and all of that. So it's very, very important. You want to make sure that you make use of assistant. That way, you get faster results, right? You don't have to suffer yourself writing all the 30 ideas, right? Next up on the process of creating your content ideas, I'm sure you're already asking, okay, are we not done? We are not done, okay? So the next step is that you want to make sure that you mix this format. So you don't just want to have carousels on Monday, carousels on Tuesday, carousels on Wednesday, carousels on Friday. And when I mean carousels, I mean those continuous posts. I'm going to insert an example here of what I'm talking about. Or you don't just want to have video on Monday, video on Tuesday, video on Wednesday. I know that videos are very highly performing, but the algorithm recognizes videos more on Instagram. Actually now, the algorithm also really favors pictures and carousels too. So what I mean is just make sure you mix up the format. So on Monday you can have a video, on Wednesday you can have a carousel, on Friday you can have a graphic flyer, whatever it is. Make sure that you review your performance and then you adjust as time goes on. And then the last but not the least step, you want to make sure you have a content bank. A content bank is going to help you. Some people, they just write down their ideas, they execute it, and that's all. But when you have a content bank, you have written down all of the ideas, you have written down your content pillars. That way you're able to repurpose your content. Let's say, for example, in the past you made a video of a particular type of content, you can switch it up to a carousel, you can switch it up to a graphic flyer, whatever it is. Make sure you have a content bank. It's very, very important. You can create one on Notion, you can create using Google Docs, you can create using Canva, whatever tool you are comfortable with. Make sure you have a content bank. And just because I love to give you guys bonus, okay, I will not live without giving you bonus. You want to make sure that you batch create. See, if you want to win in this social media world, then you have to be batch creating. Right now I'm actually batch creating. You have to make sure that you batch create for like the week ahead. So make sure you have your content a week ahead already, not that the week has already come and you are creating content on the spot. That's just going to stress you and you're just going to get burnt out. So make sure that you batch create. Batch creating is your friend. So yes, we have come to the end of this video. If you learned a lot from this video, make sure that you drop a comment, make sure that you give me a like, and then make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And then you'll find all of the resources in the description box below. And if you have any questions, of course, make sure you drop it in the comment section and I'll do all to answer you in time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and then I'll see you in my next video. Bye.